Why do you think that's so? Because the sides can be different sizes and the angles can still all be congruent. And if the sides are different sizes, then they're not congruent triangles. But if all the sides are in the same proportion, then yes, they are similar triangles. So let's start with this. Suppose I said that AC had a measure of 3 and A prime C prime had a measure of 6. CB had a measure of 4. And C prime B prime had a measure of 7. And I asked you, are these two triangles similar? No, they are not. Why?
Because the sides are different.
Because when you set the two ratios up together, they're not the same. When I look at 3 and its corresponding side, that's a scale factor of 1/2, right? Then CB over its corresponding side should be reducible down to 1/2. But it's not. So since it's not, then that means it's not similar triangles. So don't think, oh, well, if all the angles are congruent, then yes, it's similar. Because the sides also have to all be proportional. Okay? But if the question was, find the measure of x that would make those two triangles similar, what would that answer be? 8. X would have to be 8 because 3 is half of 6 and 4 is half of 8. All right? Are these two shapes similar? Okay, that's an easy one. No. They both have 4 90-degree angles, but obviously one's a square, the other one's a rectangle. Okay? So no, they're not similar to each other. Are these two shapes similar?
No.
Why not? Because if one of these angles is not 90 degrees, then that means that all of the angles are not 90 degrees, so it's not similar. Corresponding angles have to be congruent. All right, let's take these two shapes. What do you call these two shapes? Quadrilaterals. They are both 4-sided figures. They're not squares or rectangles or trapezoids or parallelograms or anything else. Rhombuses, they're just 4-sided figures. So they're quadrilaterals. If I told you that these two are similar, can you tell me the measure of y prime? 70 degrees. What other angle measure do you know? Angle measure. We don't know J. We know angle D is 90. Now we know that all 4 of these angles have to add up to 360 degrees because that's what the 4 angles inside a quadrilateral add up to. But if it's not a parallelogram or a rhombus or anything special, we have absolutely no way of telling what those other 2 angles are equal to.
The bigger one doesn't have always, it's not always prime. The other's not always prime. It can be the smaller one.
It can be the smaller one.
Wait, was 70 written there before?
Yes.
Okay.
The stuff in red was there at first. I'm changing colors for the stuff we're adding.
Okay.
All right. So we know they're similar, which means that those two have to be in some sort of relationship. So we're going to find the scale factor. I want you to identify or tell me which 2 corresponding sides do we know both measures for? YD. Okay? Here I know JY, but I don't know this JY. Here I know JU, but I don't know that one. I know UD, but I don't know this one. But here I know both of these. Now setting the smaller number on the top, and scale factors are always reduced to simplest form. What's the scale factor? 3/4. Now we're gonna use this scale factor to find the missing pieces. Okay? Now remember, if you put your smaller number on top, then you always know where to put your missing letters or variables or whatever. Okay? Well, let's figure out what the measure of UD is. Okay, so we're going to assign it the variable of x. 6 over x is correct. 6 over x is correct. We find its corresponding side. UD is part of the larger shape, so it goes on the bottom. 6 is its corresponding piece. So x is equal to 8, or UD is equal to 8. All right, now let's find J prime Y prime. If we call that x, where does the x go this time? At the top, because now J prime Y prime is part of the smaller shape. And what is its corresponding measure? 28. Let me show y'all something real quick. What times 4 gives you 28?
7.
So 7 times 3 is the top number. So x is, or J prime, Y prime is 21.
Whoa now. Wait, okay. Say what?
It's a shortcut. If it's evenly divisible, you can just raise it. Because it's a reduced fraction, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah.
If they're identical and I got 4, it means I divided this by 7, so I divided this by 7 to get 3.
Reduce one.
Sure.
My brain can't keep up with that.
Okay, now let's find J prime U prime. Does x go on the top or bottom? Top. It's part of the smaller shape. What's its corresponding side?
12.
Okay.
36.
Are you going to get a final answer?
No.
You're still going to have T in your answer. All right? So, for Lauren, we're going to go the long way here.
Yay.
36T equals 4x. When you divide by 4, you get 9T. 9T, as in Tom. Okay? Now, can someone tell me how could we figure out what T is? What is one way that we could figure out T?
If you set it up in proportion, then cancel out the t's?
No.
Huh?
What if we were given the perimeter of one of the shapes? If we knew that the perimeter of the smaller shape was, say, 45, could we figure out what T is? Yes, because 21 plus 15 plus 6 plus 9T
Equals 40.
would equal 45. Okay, that's one way we could figure out what T was. Actually, you could, but that's going to be a factoring equation where you could figure out what T is. So we won't go there. All right. Oh, this is your homework assignment, but we're going to continue on and we're going to work some more problems. So go ahead and get your homework assignment down. Did I collect a homework assignment from y'all yet?
No.
While you're writing that homework assignment down, I want you to pull out assignment number 13 and hand it in.
Miss Allen, this one.
What?
It's 19 days from my birthday.